Hello everybody, Wellbeing Productions here. This is a channel dedicated to providing relief from complicated narcissistic abuse and psychopathic abuse and its nuances, while also providing some relief with lighthearted gameplay footage. However, the information stored in this video and subsequent videos are anything but lighthearted. I am highly studied, skilled, and experienced on the subject of narcissistic abuse, as both a survivor and ex-perpetrator. I also work with the mentally impaired. Today's topic is going to be the narcissistic stalker. Narcissistic stalking is a devastating experience for both the perpetrator and the victim. It causes a lot of damage and often ends up using significant police resources. Narcissistic stalking is not an uncommon experience, though you will be convinced that it is specifically catered for you. You likely are experiencing chronic headaches, back pain, dissociation, and a pervasive fight-or-flight mode that will not leave your body no matter what you do. You are likely feeling very hopeless and insecure, as well as feeling depressed as if you will never feel joy again. If you are experiencing these symptoms, take immediate notice. You are in severe danger, and your body is warning you. What is a narcissistic stalker? What is a narcissistic stalker? In some cases, it's a rejected person. They can also be envious of the target. Now, how they'll stalk you can vary, but it's usually through all of your social medias. In some cases, a stalker is a delusional person who believes that you two have a connection or that they are entitled to your life. Most narcissistic stalkers follow a specific pattern, though. They are usually family members or ex-partners who are disgruntled and feel abandoned, rejected, outshined, or envious of the target. Now, how they'll stalk you can vary. So if you have any family members that they know of, they'll reach out to their emails or even LinkedIn pages. They'll reach out to your Facebook and YouTube and TikTok pages. Anywhere they can access you at all, they will try to access you. If you have a public reputation, they will try to smear that and say awful things about you that look legitimate. They do this very particular thing that is very unsettling. That thing being that they will target your insecurities after studying you profusely, so that they'll know a lot about you and what triggers you. Therefore, every last thing they send you is strangely effective and hurts you on a deep level you don't understand. Imagine you're just doing your own thing, minding your business. Hobby. You take photos of flowers and post them online. A very innocent thing. Well, the narcissist will turn it into your very worst nightmare. Let's say you post pictures of some roses. The narcissistic stalker will then like the post of roses 5 to even 50 times through fake accounts, just to feel like they had a say. They'll comment several fake things on it that say very abusive things that target your insecurities perfectly. So if you think you're ugly, or you're balding, or you don't feel like you're a very good photographer, they will amplify those insecurities and try to make it look like other people believe the same. Which sounds innocent, but it's actually very violent. It can make you feel very unsafe. They will also destroy your rating systems through manipulation. And then on top of that, they will make hate pages about you that dominate your SEO when people look you up. They will emotionally blackmail you any way they can. If they have your personal information, they will regularly send you death threats and things that are genuinely intimidating alongside your docs. If someone is targeting you in this way, they are not a punk trying to get a rise out of you. If they've been doing it for a long time especially, that is a very dangerous person that could very well harm you if given the chance. If they perform what they're doing correctly, you will have developed trauma, which is what they want. The goal is to intimidate you into developing complex trauma, which could potentially lead to your suicide. The other thing that they could be doing is trying to trauma bond you so that you come back to them, assuming you are the scapegoat. If you have a narcissistic family and they're stalking you, you are the scapegoat, and they are just trying to get you to come back, akin to a slave owner, which is why you must take this very seriously. It is deeply unsettling to be stalked, especially from someone who is very angry. Triggers for getting stalked like this include moving. If you moved away from them, it will trigger their desire for control. If you had previously been in the classic domestic service situation with them, and you leave that environment, this can trigger stalking. If the narcissist was an ex-lover, and now you have a new sex partner or something of that nature, the narcissist will feel extremely jealous and threatened. They will feel like you have stabbed them in the heart. Then there's envy stalkers, who could be friends, or ex-friends, or even ex-employers, who do not like that you are doing good in life. They may even want you dead for this, which sounds absurd, but it is anything but. You doing significantly better than the narcissist who is already psychotic poses a threat to their entire sense of self. These are all crazy people who are on their last legs. You may even notice when being forced to engage with the stalker that they come off as so pathetic they could be like Elliot Rodger himself. These are people who do not have any real family, friends, goals, anything. They simply spend their time stalking people and harassing and trying to harm people. These are very rejected, very mentally disturbed, very isolated individuals. Now that I've given a very base level description of narcissistic stalking, let's discuss how to cope with it. Coping with narcissistic stalking is very rough. The best and most immediate way I'd say to cope with it is to delete your social medias and start over. Narcissists love social media to abuse others. If you are on social media, you are in a narcissist playground. If they have targeted yours, you can either tough it out, or you can kiss it goodbye. You likely are experiencing severe CPTSD, which is what narcissists give their victims. And they have many victims. You are not alone. You will struggle with anhedonia, mental instability, and other things for a long time. But through therapy, self-help books such as Pete Walker's Complex Trauma, Surviving and Thriving, and Personal Achievement and Autonomy, you will start to garner your joy back and your life back. You will feel awful for a long while, but you will recover, even if it feels like you won't. Obviously, coping with this is very hard, but that's another video for another time. You may feel like your body is shutting down or you can't relax. Try to overpower this feeling. It's going to be with you for a long time, whether you like it or not. Now, as for how this situation ends, there's a few scenarios in mind. If you decided to write out the abuse to protect your property, which is a good way to do it, it will end different than if you just delete your social media, go no contact, and start over, which is what I recommend. The way it ends if you fight back and try to protect your property and try to act unfazed and get a restraining order, it will end in many failed legal attempts that are very stressful before you eventually succeed at holding them accountable. They will dodge court and dodge legal consequences any way possible. They would be willing to sever a limb to continue controlling you and abusing you. Eventually, they will be held accountable and either go to jail or be restrained. If that's the case, you will likely never hear from them or see them ever again. They will hide out and chase new supply, while remaining envious of you for life and ruminating on you frequently, which is a very unsettling thing. You better not show yourself to them again in any way if you enjoy your peace. The other option is if you go no contact, pursue no charges, and delete your social media. If you do this, you will come out with the least amount of damage. But I would recommend starting over and trying again and not giving up. In fact, I would suggest the painful reality that if you're being targeted by this type of disturbing phenomenon, you need to shut your profile down and start over. Or quit. Otherwise, it will never get better. Do not engage, ever. Do not check in on their smear campaigns, which are very tempting to check on. You can get addicted to them like a drug. Do not worry what they will do next. Completely detach. You gotta understand that these disturbed people will never, ever stop abusing you. They will never stop stalking you. They will never stop sending you into fight or flight mode. They do not care if you die as a result of their actions. If anything, that is encouraged. It does not matter if you get a restraining order. Even if you do, they will continue to do little petty bullying antics that remind you of the trauma you faced. A narcissist is crazy. You could send a SWAT team to their house and they would never quit. Even if you were to restrain them, press charges, expose them, and, in an absurd twist, become a millionaire, they would still find a way to harm you. There is no winning with a narcissist, only hiding. A narcissist is crazy. There is a reason why many of them end up in mental hospitals. Which is why you need to not engage. Do not fight them. There is no winning. Even if you win, they will win. The best case scenario would be that you cut them off, changed all contact info, and that you try to press charges on them. They will get tired of you and move on to easier supply. By this point, even in the happiest ending, you will be severely traumatized. The next kind of ending is that the narcissist attempts to harm you, and it results in their incarceration, which is quite likely. The good news is that if a narcissist wants to murder you, and you are aware of that, they will fail. Narcissists are not very good at carrying out their absurd plots. The next ending is that you deal with the abuse and can't escape it, but you cope with it. I don't recommend this. It can cause numerous physical health issues. It can cause you to lose weight. It could even potentially develop cancer, which sounds insane, but that's just the reality. There is also the ending where the narcissist, in an extreme circumstance, commits suicide. This doesn't happen often, but if their narcissistic defenses fail and are in full collapse, it is very possible. Even though you despise the narcissist, you don't want them to commit suicide, as it would follow you for life. You could also try intimidating the narcissist, but this could get you into a lot of trouble. Just know, if you are being stalked, unless you're a beautiful woman who left a domestic abuse relationship, you're very unlikely to get murdered. Though you will definitely be traumatized. So there you are, a concise and short video describing the nuances of narcissistic stalking. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe.